Government gang stalking is a game. Government gang stalking is a game. At the crux of it, finding fault with others. The switch in the game of government gang stalking, from victim to persecutor. They initially see themselves as victims, why they have come together as a gang stalking mob, ostensibly to protect themselves from not okay others. Then they become persecutors in the drama triangle. Follows the theme of the game. See what you made me do? Gang stalkers become gang stalkers because they see themselves as victims. They blame their targets for what they do. Become persecutors. Option in playing government gang stalking. The target can shift out of the ego state. The invitation is for the target to take a not okay stance. The option is to take an okay stance. Get out of the drama triangle by not being a persecutor, victim, or rescuer. Catch the game player's con. What is the con in government gang stalking? The ulterior, unconscious motive. When the gang stalkers come from the parent, resist coming from the child. Come from the adult. Example, there needs to be an investigation into government gang stalking. Then present evidence to support your contention. To respond to government gang stalking with fear, to be intimidated by it, to change who you really are, is to be in the child ego state. By demanding an investigation, you confront the fact there is a segment of American society using a tactic of mobbing for social control, intimidation, and unremitting harassment. There is also a discount in the con of a game. We can see it in the switch of the gang stalkers from victims who have to band together to persecutors. You can refuse to feel bad about being the target of government gang stalking and pat yourself on the back for exposing unconstitutional activity to the American public. This called throwing off the negative stamp. The key is to remain in your adult ego state and not to take the bait and have negative feelings, collecting a positive reinforcing memory rather than a bad one. To stay out of games, get to know what your own script is and keep from reinforcing the negative payoff of your script by finding out what your child wants and giving it to him, her in a non-scripty way. My authentic child doesn't want to fight, so I tell it together using the adult ego state. We are going to use government gang stalking, the crisis, to create a better, more emotionally intelligent world. The important thing is to support your authentic child with calming through relaxation techniques, with positive self-talk, with education to learn how to cope with the world, etc. If you fall into the trap of becoming a persecutor and entering the drama triangle, get yourself out as soon as possible and reinstate an adult, not parent, ego state. We play games from the child ego state and parent ego state. At the cross-up where the switch is about to take place and you are about to switch to the parent ego state and take a position as persecutor in the drama triangle, you can, instead of taking the payoff, proving your script, the world is not okay, now I've got you, you son of a bitch, you can express your authentic feelings and wants. I've slipped into the game that keeps violence and not okay feelings going in the world. I've switched from the victim role to the persecutor role by making neoconservatives the not okay villains in this game when I know it is a systems problem. I have frequently come from the parent ego state, which is dysfunctional. Through this intimate exchange, you can get out of the game. Start coming from the adult ego state. Care for the wants of your authentic child to not have to fight and focus on meeting its needs in a non-scripty way by working for an emotionally intelligent world in which there is no or very limited violence. Then congratulate yourself for being intelligent enough to get out of the game. The key is to refuse the negative payoff of the game, to refuse to play the victim or the persecutor, to refuse to be in the child ego state or the parent ego state, to refuse to take a not okay stance, but rather to be in the adult ego state where you realize the world is okay. Although there are lots of ulterior transactions, unconscious behavior where you can either contribute to it or use self-analysis to be aware of your own life script and to stay out of games, the drama triangle. You stop collecting negative stamps, anger. We can't control other people. We can't make them stop playing games. We can only stop ourselves from playing games. These questions might help you to see if you are involved in a game. Am I coming from the child ego state? Am I coming from a parent ego state? Am I saying, I'm not okay? Am I saying, others are not okay? Do I feel bad, negative payoff over these transactions? What does my authentic child need in this situation? Can I give it to him, her, in a non-scripty way, outside of my life script? What is the life script, the attitudes I adopted in childhood, my family home, about me, others, the world? How am I reinforcing my life script, the decisions I made in childhood about myself, others, the world, by playing this game, where I assume a role in the drama triangle of persecutor, victim, or rescuer? Am I settling for negative strokes by playing this game because at least I'm getting strokes, and negative strokes attention is better than no strokes attention at all? Am I discounting myself or others, saying I'm not okay or others are not okay? All we can ever do is to tell others our authentic feelings and wants. Mine are that I was playing the game by scapegoating the neoconservatives for what is going on. They are not to blame. Rather, it is the system, which contains unconsciousness, game playing. My child was angry from almost 9 years of being gang stalked. I'm learning how to take care of my authentic child and how to stay in the adult ego state. How to say, I'm okay, you're okay. How not to play games. Not to assume the role of victim, persecutor, or rescuer. How not to fall into my life script. A really good book on transactional analysis is TA Today, a new introduction to transactional analysis by Ian Stewart and Van Joines. For the sake of my precious inner child, I am going to continue to work for an emotionally intelligent world. To work for it also, so all our children can have a better world.